You look good, you have all of the something there about you. Yes, goodie!
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Goodgal podcast.
Hello.
Hi, I'm
Thank
Renee.
you for having me.
And she's Jody. What's going on?
I feel so tired.
Jeez, and me too.
I'm just like,
No, you know, so the other day I sit down and I want to say, yo, almost just tired all the time. So I say, no man, we need vitamin. We need
right,
something.
but I
But
take
I
my
take the vitamin there. I think I age,
I
girl.
took a hard life. The working thing.
Born as a sufferer.
Yeah.
No, sir.
I'm not gonna do as one though.
Amen.
Get rich
Jesus
and die
name.
trying.
I don't know about that trying part.
Not 50 cent vibes. But
I don't know about the diet.
imagine I get shot 50 times.
He got shot not 50, 14. I think it was 14.
So I'm gonna get 50.
I don't know. Because even 50 cents.
cents.
I think it was, maybe it's not even 14. Maybe I'm just telling you a wrong number. I think it was 14. Let me see. But let me tell you, 50 cents, like
He have 9 lives.
He have 9 lives.
For true.
Like,
anytime we think him washed up, him come back again.
He just come back again.
Yeah, man. Right alive.
Right. Oh, it's 9. You see? Me add a whole other, it's 9 shots.
Oh, that's for the 9 lives. Do you know so I do?
But I'm glad him live still, because I won't get power and won't get Power Book 2. Because right now, I can't wait for Book 2 to come back. I need to know what is happening with Tariq. Book 2 nice.
That man, that little boy.
Anyways. Speaking of cinematic,
yeah.
good segue.
Yes.
Jumping right into the goodie of the week.
The goodie of the week.
Okay, so this week's goodie of the week is the Bob Marley One Love biopic or film.
It's not a biopic. Don't get me out.
Okay. Well, it's number one. It's the number one film in America, and it's projected to gross $46.2 million in its 6th day opening weekend, which was between February 14th to 19th. So the film was produced by Paramount Pictures, Tough Gang Pictures, and Brad Pitt's production company Plan B. So, it earned $14 million domestically in the US on its Valentine's Day opening, $3.8 million on Thursday, and $7.4 million on Friday. So, opening in 3,536 theaters. The biopic, it's called, I don't know, media's reporting it as a biopic, but the biopic surpasses all midweek openers for a Valentine's Day. So this is a record-breaking film, according to Paramount. And then the previous record was set in 2012 by The Vow, which made $11.5 million. So it has broken all sorts of records. It has broken records in Jamaica as well as the highest grossing film ever. Yes, on opening.
Oh, Jamaica,
yeah. No, I went on. I made sure I wanted to be. This was one film where I was like, I ordered the tickets and I was there on Valentine's Day.
I like that
because I wanted to support. Because I know opening day for movies is a big thing.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to support that.
Did they do anything special on the opening day?
Yes, they had like when you went in, they had a backdrop. I went to Carib and they had like a backdrop, and then you had like I think there was a reggae drink that you could buy.
Oh, okay.
So it was a whole experience. I think Carib did a good job in how they handled it, and it was available in like 6 cinemas.
Oh wow!
And all of them were packed. Yeah. So I think they chose a good, and I like that Valentine's Day was a holiday in Jamaica.
It was,
because it was Ash Wednesday. So I went at 1:00 and it was full, and my friend went to the 8:00 and it was full.
I would say though, which somebody brought it to my attention, I was just like, that would have been a good idea. Why they never released on Bob's birthday?
I think they wanted the Valentine's Day opening.
Oh, just for the extra boost.
And then remember there's a holiday in a lot of places. So
I mean, that would have been a really good you know.
But I think it's his reggae month. It's his birth month. So I still think it was kind of relevant to do. It is reggae month.
Or maybe it's not for me. Okay.
Yeah. Lost in Time happening this weekend.
I didn't know it was a reggae month activity.
I don't think it's a reggae month activity. So I think that's why it's being done now, because it's usually in March. But maybe they're playing into the reggae month thing. But yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool.
What did you think of the film? You were waiting on me to ask you this. You're like, I'm waiting for this question.
I mean, TikTok knows how you feel.
Yes, TikTok knows how I feel.
I think I was.
I don't know why, but I didn't hate it though. I feel like
I don't
people
know. The
misconstrued
quality,
me.
yeah,
Yeah.
the quality was great, superb. I just left wanting more.
Mhm.
I left wanting to know more about Bob himself. I feel like, and again, somebody advised me because I did not know that Ziggy had said that it's going to be only showcasing
From
this
1977
Correct.
to his death.
Me no. Me want to know more about Bob. Me want to know about like want to see more of his upbringing, more of how he got into music.
This man that we've heard about all of our lives is like
who teach you how to play the guitar, like. And I would love to know those things.
Yeah.
A few gaps were there, like even when did you open Tough Gong, like all those things are missing for me. And I really, really, really wanted to get to know him a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I did not.
Yeah.
And the ending was a little
abrupt,
anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Like them carry me up so I was a bootstraps. Like a roller coaster. And it was just like
Yeah. So for me, if nobody, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I'm very into I read a lot of biographies and I'm very into biopics. So if there's a biopic, I have watched it, right? So my whole thing with, I guess it was from a period, but I think they contradicted themselves with saying that it's from a specific period because of the fact that they showed young Bob.
Right, they had a lot of flashbacks.
So they had a lot of flashbacks within the movie. So if you have a lot of flashbacks, I think the flashbacks should make clearer. So I feel like some of the flashbacks were not necessarily, because even the one where I get it, he's chasing Selassie. Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, nigga, what? Like, I better watch it there. But I get it, he's chasing Selassie and but all of that. Like, I get that. I get why they were a climatic thing, but I think it could have been. I think, as I said on TikTok, it was written from the point of view of a child.
And I saw that completely.
Yeah,
I said you were spot on.
Yeah,
spot on.
It was written from the point of view of a child. I think they didn't do well in introducing the characters because fine. Yeah, it's like if you didn't go in with any knowledge of Bob, you didn't know who Bob is. And I think the best biopic I can compare in terms of, for example, when I watched Jamie Foxx in the Ray Charles biopic, where they showed his young life and his older life and things like that, because Ray Charles's biopic was only for a certain period as well. Yeah. But when they showed flashbacks of his youth, it made it clear to you who he was, and it gave you more clarity into how his mother raised him, why he was able to create in the way that he did.
Up to now, some of the characters from One Love, I still
don't know because even Chris Blackwell, I didn't know that it was Chris Blackwell until mid movie. I was like, oh, this is Chris Blackwell. Yeah, he's the guy. He's one of the white guys. Yeah, he's one of the Chris Blackwell is one of the white guys. You see, you watched it and didn't know that. It's my mother made me know. It's my mother made me realize.
Oh my land.
Yeah. So yeah, he was Chris Blackwell. His name is James Norton. So he was who was talking to him when
the tall guy.
The one, the white guy, in the studio. He was one. He was Chris Blackwell. But I'm like, tell me how we met these people. He's a Rasta man from Trenchtown.
You just see
people come up, and you just see them come on the screen and all of that. And I'm like, how did this Rasta man from Trenchtown? They could
have worked with the transition.
Yeah, they could have. The introduction of characters, and I think, as I said, and you can see, it almost looked like they filmed a lot and it was clipped together. Yeah, it kind of looked like clips, but I get it. Honestly, somebody gave me a point of view that, they possibly wanted to protect the brand. Because Bob was a rebel.
Guys.
Us in Jamaica, guys, if you're listening and you're not from Jamaica, he was a rebel. Bob was a man, you've heard stories growing up about how Bob Marley used to go to read, Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, all of them, Bunny, them used to go to radio station them and bad up the DJ them for play their music. He fought for his music.
You could tell that they were protecting. You could tell that they cut out a lot.
Because even there was a part, and Jody don't tell us a spoiler. There was a part at the end where the person who shot him come and ask him for forgiveness. I was like, Negro.
Did this really happen? I don't believe that.
Let me tell you why I don't think that's happened. If a man even attack Ding Dong, by next week, reprisal. It's unfortunate, but it's a big part of our culture. So I don't, especially back in them days there, you think someone gonna go for Bob Marley and not get... And then even
Or
that,
they're trying to show him in a very positive
yeah, and then
way.
even I guess they were trying to show because he was peaceful,
Yeah.
but I think he seemed, based on the stories I've heard, he sounded like a time and place person. Like him have a time when him rebellious and him ray, and then him have a time when him no say. I think his whole mantra was peace and unity and all of that.
Yeah. Zen, very zen.
Very zen. So I don't know, but I think honestly,
We should watch it.
no matter what we say, no matter how much critique it get, like, or whatever, or constructive criticism, I think it's something that we should watch. And I think there is space to create another part, because the fact that you only did the ending, you probably can start from the beginning. Because, for example, we just mentioned Power. We saw where 50 Cent he did Power first, and then he did Raising Canaan.
He gave dive into, but then it's like, we dive into, because I don't really want to know nothing about nobody else. Like, I don't. People said maybe it's good.
No, not him. But yeah, I think I would expect, no, man, from the aspect of, they could still do Bobby now, but they could expound on his young life. Because like in Power, they spoke about things from the olden days, because Power now, they have Raising Canaan, which is who Bus Ghost and Tommy in the jungle game.
Yeah, I'm thinking about book 2. I'm thinking about Tariq.
No, man.
Yeah.
They can do it as a prequel. That's what they call it.
They don't want to show no more about the man, miss.
Yeah.
They get what they get, thank God.
Maybe what make us say, maybe the picnic them now want show, but the grand picnic them one day. Maybe, you never know.
Get Excel. Cut up.
But big up yourself, like, I'm glad that it's getting the recognition. Watch it, no matter what, watch it, enjoy it. And honestly, it was a good film, but I just think there were gaps, and I think it was written from the perspective of a child, but I would not say to not watch it. And by the way, Kingsley Benadir did a phenomenal job.
Absolutely.
Phenomenal. Rita's emotions were amazing.
Yeah.
Both of them deserve.
They did great.
They deserve that role, but Lashana, the only thing I'll say, her accent, boy. Her accent was a little. It was in and out.
Yeah.
It was in and out. But I saw a linguist comment and said the Jamaican dialect is one of the hardest ones to mimic, and that's why anytime a person is even if we want to listen to diaspora Jamaicans, that's why them not sound like we. And the linguist was explaining on TikTok that you can literally, if you're in a place, if you live in Jamaica, grew up in Jamaica, but if you're not around Jamaicans and you live in a place for too long, you literally can't. You will lose your accent. Yeah, you can lose your accent. Like, you can lose the authenticity of it. So I thought that was interesting, because I've heard it happen to people. I have aunts and uncles who I don't think have their same accent. And then I have an uncle who, if they're on, be a Rasta, be a Jamaican, and him accent strong same way. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I would get that, because that's how you even develop them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the goodie of the week. Now, jumping into this week's hot topics.
Hot topics.
1, 2, 3. So, this week we kick off with the viral TikTok series that has taken the internet by storm. Who the F did I marry? So, we want to discuss, what happens when someone discovers their partner has been, spinning a web of lies, basically. So Reese Teesa is, she was being very vulnerable.
She's brave. A brave young woman.
Brave young woman. And she spoke about her situation when she was with a pathological liar. And baby, Legion Wikini? I want like.
That's why she nicknamed him Legion.
Yeah.
I think it's so much.
Did you watch all 50 parts?
Absolutely.
Me too. Oh my God, you're me.
My thing is,
but it's a clean mouse and a scroll.
Podcast. She play at me. I don't do people that work. I'm just a play.
Just a play, yeah.
I'm gonna say, ooh, it's like it's spicy. Hey, I say, wow, it's can't get worse than this, and it does.
And I can't knock her because she take accountability
she
in
did.
Every single scenario. She seemed like she do a lot of healing.
People she don't take enough accountability. But I'm just saying, guys. I mean,
one should beat up herself. Because she beat up herself,
She's a survivor.
She's a survivor.
To be honest, you don't want to. You don't want to think her victimize yourself as a survivor. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss of words. I think at the end of the day, I just crack it down to clinically insane.
No. Speaking of that, I'm glad you said that. Speaking of that, right? I wanted to, because this made me think that, this is something worth talking about, because I feel like we have all had situations. There's a lot of situations where you can kind of, experience pathological lies. And I don't know, I feel like in Jamaica, I think we experience a lot of them. And I can only speak to my Caribbean experience. But I won't say all Jamaican men, and I don't like to generalize, but enough of them.
Also, because I've seen pathological liars not in romantic relationships. I've seen it in people,
right? So I want to talk about spotting the signs. So what are some like telltale signs that you can tell like make the person like a pathological liar? Like, what are some things that you look for? I can go first. Like, one thing that I really noticed with they give you a lot of unnecessary information.
They tend to be oversharers. And it's like okay. And I said, that's what I said. I've experienced it before, but not in a romantic way, like with somebody. I worked around, and I was just like, what? I also realized, I think another sign is somebody who they don't really have a core set of friends. Yeah. So they change friend groups often. Because people catch up on their lives. So they don't true. I feel like that's just a major telltale sign. Yeah. They're not on a core set. You see them
jump from group to group. Groupie.
Because people just pick up. Leisure, they never have no friend. In pretend, yeah. Because you can't be so lie and just have friends. Because any true friend, I'm going to call you out on your BS. Because you could be around them telling the lies to other people you just met in, and they're going to be like, huh? What?
Or you ever around somebody and like they might tell a lie and they might say, right, Renee?
No.
Renee? Me?
I don't know anything, sir.
What?
Ma'am. This is not true.
Yeah. And you're like, I don't remember that.
No, because you're not going to mix me up in here with lies. Oh, entangle me? You're crazy. Then by association to your mother.
And then let me tell you what I can't take. I can't take when like me have to separate fact from fiction with you. Like, when me know say a lie, me feel, yo, that not true.
You don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, let's break it down into 3 buckets. So, first I want to talk about, lies in love, right? So, sometimes, what are some, like, crazy lies that men have told you in, like, relationships, and you're like, say insane? And you kind of discover it now.
Oh, sorry. To be honest with you,
don't tell me man don't lie to you.
No, I think I just haven't been able to. Maybe I'm still Reese Teesa, I don't know. Like undiscovered Reese.
Yeah.
Because I haven't discovered any. Like maybe
guys,
maybe I should sit and think about it a little bit more. You go first because I uncovered.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But I suppress. I'm a suppressor, guys. I will suppress. If I don't want to remember you or a relationship or anything about what happened, I can do that.
Yeah. No, I think number 1 for me is like, but this wasn't a guy that I was dating. He was just like a friend looking. He kind of did look everybody. You met him. Yes, you met him. You know who I'm talking?
I think I do.
Portland.
Right.
Yes, him. So, so like he literally carried us, like he invited me and my friends, like as I tell you, like this guy look all of us, right? But me and him developed like a friendship, and like him never do nothing with none of when him never yet, like he didn't even have a chance. The man literally goes and says that he bought a house. He's having a housewarming. The man keep a housewarming party.
And that's at his house.
And it was at his house, and it wasn't his house. We found out like months later it was a housewarming, but it was not his house.
That's his house.
And yeah, man, you know what's funny? I remember being there, and I was like, he said it was a housewarming party, and I was like, oh, why you don't make us pray for you and pray over the house,
right,
whatever, you know me. You know me, and I was like, why you don't make us, pray over the house and whatever? And he's like, no. Like he was so reluctant about it, and now I know it's because you lie, but it's not your house.
That's crazy. But
or them man they will say like, or like them volunteer information where them say yo, like you say something like, oh, say I want to fix something, and they're like, oh yeah man, me for you I can do that. All no.
Is that different from name dropping? Or sorry, that's a different.
I think it's the same. No, I think it's the same thing.
I hate that. so much to the core of me.
You know, so one time, my father have this friend, and we were out. I don't even think my father remember these things. I remember it so vividly. We were out, and like we were out as a family, and his two other friends came, right? And the guy was literally like talking about somebody, and the person he was like, he's talking about them like he knew them, and the person that was there, the person he knew was sitting there. Like the person he was talking about was sitting there, but he didn't know them. He was just knowing, like, you know, you just say, yeah man, the girl run on, but I'm sitting right here, and you don't know, say because you don't know me, but you're just talking. And
stop.
Yo, if I could have sink by the second hand, because I'm just like,
oh my,
and I think he was just doing it to impress a woman.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. But kind of, alright, go on. We'll go through this. Come on, we'll have to dissect Reese Teesa. We have to dissect Reese Teesa. We can do it now or
yeah, go ahead.
Because I also, like, look, because they found him, right? That's it?
Yeah.
That man look like a VP to you?
I don't think a VP have a look, right?
No.
Alright, no, let me tell you why I said that, right? Because, alright, when you hear my job title, but me not there so.
Of the type of company, first of all, he's probably not going to be white and black. I feel like.
No, but let me tell you, right? Alright, let me tell you what it is, right?
You're C-suite, you know, like you are vice, like, no.
Yeah, true.
To be honest with you,
but that just shows that she never interacted with a VP before.
But it's just like,
yeah.
Lisa, babes. I want to root for you.
No, I honestly think that she said she was desperate, and she was just really like into it. Like, I will feel like, let me tell you, nothing when I want to admit the truth, but all the way, me see myself in a Reese Teesa. In some senses, all of us, because everybody was basic. No, everybody was basic. Some people were saying, "Oh, it couldn't be me," and I'm like, "Nah,
no,
bro,
it could be you.
It could be you because trust me,
could you all do you?
It could be you, right? It could be you." Yeah, but I understand them people always say, "Yo, it couldn't be you." Can me see myself in it?
Every girl has at least turned 1 or 2 green flags, red flags to green, magician style. So what you mean? I mean the depth. I mean, remember, there's a point of the story where she indicates that she knew he was lying, and she just is like, "Yo, I can't have a bottle." Like, okay, I guess this is my fate at this point. But yeah, man, it could happen to anyone, I think. I was saying, or I'm about to say that I think it would be harder in Jamaica, specifically Kingston, I think, because remember, it's a smaller country.
Yeah.
That guy would have changed states.
Yeah.
Yes, or counties or whatever, and he could literally create a new identity. Or he could have moved to the West Coast and created an identity and nobody knew.
Yeah.
But in Jamaica, I feel like in the Kingston dating pool of some sort, like somebody must know somebody.
Yeah.
For confirm or deny. First of all, I'm running my report before anything. So, I mean, that's just me.
But then I don't think we can compare like a Kingston, Jamaica. I think we have to compare it to Caribbean because, for example, because it's the same as somebody coming to UE from another country, another island, and they're like a real dog shit over there.
Yeah.
But then they come into Jamaica acting
that's
like
true.
them. So I think it's the same thing. Them come and just act like them are,
That's true. That's what it could have really happened.
That's what it really could have happened, because it's like you meet, and I think because of how Jamaica set up now, like, is a lot of expat dating. Like I see a lot of my friends into Caribbean dating now.
Okay.
Like, trying meeting different people, all of that. But me, I'm sorry. But one of my biggest takeaways from the situation that I don't think, I think I only saw one person talk about it, is how she ignored the red flags just because he was paying all the bills.
Yes.
Can we talk about that? Because it's like, I think a lot of times when us as women, like, if he, like on the first date, when he fixed the tire and paid for that, like, I think we need to look at, because for me personally, I can't speak for anybody else, I always look at character. Like, you have to have more than just provider. Because provider is one aspect of a good man.
Right.
But I feel like because he was paying all the bills, she chose to kind of ignore a lot of the other things. And I think at times as women, we do that a lot.
Right, benefit of the doubt, or he's just like, oh no, he's such a good provider, and he was very, understanding, and he has like, he listened to her and all that. And remember the first day when you see that her tire did bust and him come help her. So
that's what I'm saying. No, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
But I think it's also because it's not normalized. It's not normal. It's like you see this and you think, oh my God, she's such a gem, but this is actually should be normal.
No, but I think it's deeper than that. I think it's more like, because I think women will ignore us as women will ignore things out of just financial gain.
Right.
Because for example, right, like you're there with a married man just because he might pay all your bills. Yeah. You're there with somebody where you know says a murderer just because he might pay all your bills. Right. You know say somebody cheating on you and you close your eyes because you know say you want your birthday trip. Yeah. So you just know say you get born and you say, all right, after the birthday trip, me left you. But it's like so it's like, where do our morals lie?
Yeah. No.
And I question myself so because I've been in that situation where like I didn't say I want to break up with somebody, but my birthday did come up. I'm like, So that's why I said I can see myself in Reese Teesa because it's not even from a judgment standpoint.
No, yeah.
It's from the standpoint of if we're being real, enough time. I think sometimes, and I think thank God I think I'm past that. But I think a lot of times we compromise our integrity for a check.
Our integrity and our main core values.
So it's like, are they truly our core values? Good values if they're so easily shaken?
Honestly.
Yeah.
And I think remember saying me up here some of them promote unemployment checks. But I mean
hey, what's that to man?
So the money on hinge, like when I think about it, like I replace in my brain because I was locked in. And I'm just like, because I'm trying to put the 2 plus 2s, to get the 4s. And I'm just like, oh, so this is where you got the money from. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you screenshot the Chase checking account. All right, cool. So you were never gonna buy these cars. And they can test drive now.
Test drive car.
Ignorance.
But that's what I'm saying. So I feel like every time he told a lie and she was kind, if I notice one thing I pick up in the series, every single time he told a lie and she was close to being onto it, he did some grand gesture and made her feel like, like when he told a lie, the house fell out, and that's when the England trip. Then after that, that's when she got to test drive the cars. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like is like if you notice, and then to me it's like that's what I say is. What are your, because we always have these checklists, superficial checklists, but what are your moral checklists? Because like the other day I was saying to somebody, that like, if you don't believe in a God, I'm not saying I'm for perfect.
Right.
But if you don't believe in a God and if you don't like God church, I'm not the one for you. Right? And it's like, they were like, oh, so you wouldn't know that Rasta man, you wouldn't know. No. And like that's okay. That's what I said, but that's where my moral compass, that's what I said, it's like, I think as women a lot of times we bend and we say,
some things you can, some things you cannot.
Yeah.
So your core is your core,
Your core is your core.
There's some additional things like, I'm a full tall.
Yeah.
Like you can bend that.
Yeah, you can bend that.
You get what I'm saying? But core values are different than the characteristics that he should have.
So I feel like if we look at something outside of the financial gain, we'd just say, because every time I feel like he had a pattern.
Yeah.
I feel like he had a pattern. Yeah. Right? Now, on the same topic, let's talk about, lies in friendships. Because I feel like I've met some girls over the years and them just tell some unnecessary lies.
When I meet a girl coming up, I have a girlfriend like that. At the same set and the other set and I eat that.
No, but I mean like not even just friend, but like maybe associates. Or you've ever been around somebody, because there was one girl I remember like in high school, and real OGs will remember. She used to tell us all the time that her like she lived in an apartment complex in Kingston that is pretty normal, popular apartment complex, and then she would tell people that I live in Stony Hill, right? And I'm just like, okay. And she'd always like harp on the fact, because this was, and then growing up in the early 2000s, growing up in the early 2000s was really toxic. Let me tell, or being in high school at that time. Let me tell you why. Because being uptown was seen as this like glorified thing, because I think that is what it is. So she wanted to be exclusive. If she wants to be so exclusive, and I feel like you hear people tell like a lot of lies, or who them know,
Yeah.
who them whatever,
Yeah.
like friends or things that happen to them.
Mhm.
Like if I run somebody and they tell you a story and you're like, that
Yes,
did not happen.
yes, I have. And I'm sitting on there in a room of people, and I'm just like, and you can tell that some of them don't believe either, because you kind of start pick up what time at. Like, you know. So it's like everything with a grain of salt. And I'm just like, and people always come to me and just like, I can't believe you should have said that. And I'm just like, guys,
Yeah.
I have nothing to say. If you want to believe that's your business, I have nothing to say on the matter. I know what is true and I know what is not. That is not true. That is not true. But I'm also trying to figure out, for me, I always knock it down to insecurity.
Yeah.
Like some deep rooted insecurity. And I'm just like, oh baby, but it's never that serious.
Yeah.
Like, it's never that serious for also strangers to care or like you, or you have to say these things for people to like you. That means also you're not a bad person. For me, that also shows that at the core you're really not a bad person. You have to create this persona for people to
you have to care. Yeah, true.
That's really it's like ain't nobody wanna F with you outside of that.
And then even like, have you had family members who are like liars? Or like, or put you in a position to lie? So for example,
well, yes, for sure. You know when you have a bag of woman and it's just like, awkward.
Oh, let me tell you something about Rennie, right? No, let me tell you something about Rennie. And anybody will have my last name, we're close to me. Big up my cousin, them, big up Akeem, Devoy, who else? AJ, all of that. Right? All of them. I love one to my heart. Sean, everybody. Them know that Rennie is an informer. No, they know.
I wish they were more like you.
No, them know say Rennie is an informer. So you see side chick and any little girl or you have your woman. If you see if you meet your woman and you say I'm a woman this and you not tell me so on the left, don't bring no girl. Daddy, everybody know. Don't bring none of your little side, little string things them around me. Because first of all, I'm not gonna speak. I'm just gonna be like, hi, good night, and whatever. I mean, I know one to them girl, but them always want to talk to me. They always want to fuck with me.
Because you look friendly.
Because I'm usually the vibe, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like, no, I don't. Do not bring them around me. Let me tell you a story from when me little bit, right? From me little and I grow, me's a girl's girl. Come me inform by my father. When I was young, right? I remember one time my cousins, and them can't tell you. My cousin Kim, I think it was Kim Kai, my sister, and Daddy was it was my cousin's father, Uncle Devon, and then my daddy was out, and like my mother there with my father and Uncle Devon there with Kim their mother, and they were out, and like we were out with them. I think they took us to put up or something like that, and some woman was there, and them don't say did I look the woman them, and as I step in the house, mommy, Daddy was talking to this woman, and bear in mind, you know. My parents left from I'm like 2, 3, right? So I have vague memories of this, but like it's a running story in the family. So they told me this happened. Kim was old. Kim is a little bit older than me, so she recalls it vividly.
Wow.
Like, and I came in like blazing, like this happened. So I just showing you that I grow with the girl spirit in me from young.
Yeah.
So you see me now. Don't bring your little casual things around me because I am going to talk. And if they ask me a question, I'm going to answer truthfully. Cause you now make God mark up my salvation paper. I'm gonna tell them the truth. I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna overshare information.
Right. You're not gonna
but if you said to me, oh, same have other woman, I said, well, that's something you need to discuss with him. But what do you think? Right? I'm gonna turn it back on you, and I'm like. Or I'm not gonna be, no, him
right,
love
no,
you.
yeah.
I'm not that family member. So don't put me in the position to lie because I'm not doing that.
So I think to myself, somebody I have one friend when they really have one man that was a pathological liar for you. Like they sit on that team about it and I said, whoa. It was giving double life.
Yeah. Yeah. Or them lie about things that just I remember there was one my first boyfriend, my first love. Was he my first love? He was my first time. He was my first everything. I lost my first. And when we first met, right, he was like, I thought he was my age. He told me he was my age, and it turns out he was like a year younger than me. And I was like, I think I looked on his license, and then I was like, I think I looked on his license, and it was like, and I was like, me say, me I got, I was like, no, the man can't see soak up on me.
You're so annoying. You're so annoying. I hate you.
And back then it was like a big deal.
Really?
He was like, I think he was maybe even 2 years younger than me. And them time that I was like, I was like 18, 19.
No, sir.
But he was like, he
No,
was
sir.
driving.
No, sir.
I don't think it was 2. I think it was 1. Maybe I'm exaggerating.
Maybe you are.
Yeah, I think I'm exaggerating. But like, I think, and literally, I think I was in my last year of sixth form. And I remember like going to school, like, make up for Maria and Maria. I remember going to school and I remember like we found out and I was telling my brethren them at school, but like their assholes. So they were like, yeah man, watch your cradle rubber come to school. Like, so it was just like, it was just this running joke, right?
I mean, that would have been funny.
Like, it was hilarious, but I just remember like,
that's so funny. No, get away with it.
Like thinking about something that's like, you're just like,
you know, so actually, no, I remember. Like, you know, it's a culture.
Yeah.
Some separates. I must say, you know, so once somebody they were going to high school, and like, where'd it go? You know, so people lied about. What's the see one? You know, I see one picture of him and one girl.
You saw a picture of him and a girl.
Same go overseas for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I don't know how I found it. I don't remember how I found it. Like, you know, maybe I think it was Facebook. I think it was on the girl's profile and the girlfriend profile, and she posted him up lovingly.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember the story he told me, but I know he obviously lied. And I'm saying to myself, wow, Joe, do you believe that? I'm gonna see.
You know, so it's crazy. I remember there was this guy, like, it was probably like,
must tell me one old picture or something like that.
no, as he said that, there was this guy, right? Every day, like, he messaged me through a cousin of mine.
Mm.
And then he said, oh, him like me, whatever, and he was talking to me. Anyways, he saw me through a cousin of mine. Him DM me and we were talking for like, probably like him just having conversation with me. We've never hung out. I never seen him in person. Every day at 9 o'clock he would call me. Like 9 p.m. on the dot. And one day I said, you know, I'm not gonna answer this call. It was like probably like 4 days, 9 p.m. But we were having good conversations.
Nights.
No man. Remember I said free nights at 11. I reached free nights yet.
Wow. Why were we up so late? Anyways.
That's true. And let me tell you, you know, said the boy. You know, so one day I said, alright, I'm gonna make it ring. I'm gonna wait till like 9:30 and call him back. And straight to voicemail. So I think what he was doing. So then I saw him, I reached out to my cousin. I was like, yo, you know this youth? And he was like, he said, see me through your page, whatever. And he was like, oh yeah, well, I think he has like a child, like a young baby, and him live with him baby mother. And I was like, oh, that is why you have to block my number and you step outside,
right?
Or you do whatever when she nurse the baby to bed, and you know, say you're gonna call me because
that's actually
you just lie. And I'm gonna tell you how I know him did lie. Him use he did have 3 messaging app. What the next messaging app name? You did have one messaging app, Telegram, and he was like, "You don't have Telegram."
Nobody has that unless you're talking to Chinese suppliers.
But apparently Telegram is a cheaters app. That's what they're saying because it has like disappearing messages.
You think Snapchat are the cheaters app?
My God.
Snapchat is that.
Yeah, true. If me ear say you have a Snapchat, me really.
No.
Do you have a Snapchat?
No, I do not. That deactivate from when.
I feel like if I hear say you have a Snapchat.
Sometimes I see people using Snapchat and I say, man, still on a priest.
Yeah, I'm not trust you. Like, we up to.
We are posts. We over there too. Because I need to understand.
Yeah, man. The liar them out. But yeah,
what would you do if you found a dating app on your boyfriend's phone? Or like a dating app notification? Because the app could have still label to not active.
Well, it depend. A grinder? Or
no, we're not taking it that far. Let's not take it so far.
I don't think I'd be favorable to that because I feel like I don't use dating apps, and I think it'd be wild for me to find. I would want somebody who don't use it.
Notification, you know, you're in a relationship and you get you see a notification.
No man, that's crazy. That's insane.
Mash up this.
Yeah man, I'd be so upset. Like, and I'd be like, No, I'd be so hurt. If it's my husband, we'd have to go counseling or something. Now we're done. No, because we reach far. You understand me? I say?
Yeah.
When you buy bridesmaid dress.
Risa did go counseling.
Yeah, because we done
And
married.
like,
That different. That's why you have to wait and, make God say rur before you go down the aisle. But if it's like a boyfriend, nah, we out, bro.
Yeah, I do.
What are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Let me tell you something. I want to. I will. See her there. She can tell you. Me fight with you. Go to the very end of the earth. Me hold on to you till my last earstring. But you see, once me feel like you give me a bun, I'm out.
It's a triangle.
No, it's a triangle. But you see, bun, I will not take bun. If I know, see talking to or like if you one thing if me not know, but you see the minute I find out. Peace be unto you. Especially in the early day, like you're there with me 1 year and you can't give me one. Like are them little early stage there? What I have to look forward to in a life? More. Just be a disrespect, be a late night. No sir. Me not the bun thing. Me not play them game there. Yeah, no. So, but. That was kind of just like some pathological liars. Now, I actually took the liberty of researching, the psychology behind liars. So I just wanted to read some of those.
Please.
So it says pathological lie. This is from psychology.com. I don't know how accurate this is, but yeah. So they said pathological lying often stems from underlying psychological issues like low self-esteem and insecurity. Mm-hmm. So we touched that. You said that.
Right.
Impulse control difficulties may lead to pathological liars to fabricate stories without restraint. So I guess them get just overstimulated, them in a certain situation and they feel the need to exaggerate. Mm-hmm. Seeking attention and admiration drives pathological liars to create elaborate falsehoods. And some lies are used to avoid facing consequences or negative outcomes.
Okay.
A pattern of deceit characterizes pathological lying, becoming ingrained over time. So it's like when you start to do it so much, it becomes like a natural. It's like a sixth sense. Mm-hmm. And then lack of empathy, right? Where liars disregard the impact of their lies on others. And then pathological lying can serve as escapism. So creating fantasy worlds to evade reality. Yeah.
I wanted to ask if you ever caught anybody like in a lie. Like, have you been in a situation where you, not psychological, physiological signs were there that they were lying?
Oh yeah, man. Let me tell you. I think I told this story on TikTok. This guy, we were in a car, right, and like he said to me, he was like, what did he say? Oh, he said we were talking about cars, right? Because actually we just dropped my car at the garage, and he came for me and he was just helped because he randomly called me and I was like, oh, you don't say at the garage and I have to wait a while, and he's like, okay, come run some errands with me. So I was talking to him about, I need to change my car. This was before I had the car that I have now. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I need to change my car, and I'm talking to him and so which car you want? And I was like, say I want an HRV, I'm thinking about it, and I said the price, and I'm talking to him, right? Because it's a long time we want the HRV.
Right.
He then says, oh yeah man, we have a link to it, and I was like, link to a car? It's a car. But I'm like, sometimes people have links to the government, consignment, whatever. So I said, okay, whatever. And he proceeds to take up his phone to make a call. He's talking to the person and his phone rings. The phone rings and this is not a phone. This is not the phone ringing and like where he can walk away. We're in a car. And he's like, oh. Like he said, oh, then probably we never know, so them hang up. And he's like, and then he proceeds to continue, and I'm there like,
oh my God.
And then he's like, oh, like he's trying to convince me, right? He's like, oh, sometimes, why did you sell him? Start, cause did you sell? So then he's like, oh, say sometimes people.
But if you know who this.
I just see him in Portland.
When he blows that girl.
Like, yes. That's why I tell you, it was literally just my friend.
That's actually so embarrassing.
Like, yeah, man. But you know what? We should have known from we little and a girl. Because I remember, we should have known from we little and a girl. Because we know him a long time now. And like, a next friend of mine, she was hanging out with him one time. And he was with some rich people, right? And you know him, though? the man buy him Gucci slippers and him did have a regular slippers. And you know so what him do? Him take the man, him put on the man Gucci slippers and do a video when him a walk and go outside in the man house in the Gucci slippers and him post it on him story. And literally with it, and we say, and I remember she said to me, but with it, let me tell you, would you think him grow outside because them time them did broke?
Oh.
But I don't think he's broke now, you know. I just think he's just exaggerating his wealth. He's not broke. I'll never say that about him, but he's exaggerating his wealth.
That's so unhinged.
So I'm just like, and he probably owns property. He's just exaggerating the property.
No,
the type of property he can own.
The man phone start ring.
Him phone start ring like literally ring.
That's why I wonder. Oh, the phone never ring. Leisure and phone never ring. No morning with Leisure.
No, what she called him call them. So him get up in the morning and just call them.
It don't matter.
Oh,
I'm saying all the time.
But him not a friend. Him not a friend. So nobody not call him. Yeah, or upon silent.
She said never ring it.
Yeah, no, for sure, the man, and like him start cuss digital and say, you know, sometimes when people are talking, let me call him back, I say, alright, enough to call him back. Because it was just, and we probably had like an hour or two left together. So and I was like, okay, like at least, but it was just a joke to me because I've never taken him seriously. Right. Like Imagine
if it was somebody you were actually like dating, like in a relationship, you know, so, wow.
But you know, so I never yet take him as a serious person.
No.
So it's like, it was just like.
But like, can you tell when somebody's lying? I guess it depends on the person.
I think the scenario comes up like it's like because I feel like I can kind of tell sometimes when you know the person well enough. Yeah. Because like when you're there with a man, right, and you know your man, and him do certain patterns or him say things a certain way, you're like, you don't talk like that. I think you have to know somebody well enough to know that they're lying. There's also certain signs, you know, like on you. Yeah. That you're about to lie. Yeah. Like, but it differs per person. Yeah. So sometimes eye twitching. And like sometimes people laugh before they lie. Yeah. I'm not a good liar, so it's very obvious. Like people always tell me, you know, say you can't lie, and it's also my lie. If me tell a lie, it's gonna catch up with me. Come and chat soon enough. Me telling you the same stories 100 times. So if me tell a lie, I feel like it's always gonna catch up to me. So I just don't even bother. Like, me I can tell the same story them over again. I promise you, they hear the same stories from me like 50 million times. Well. Yeah. What's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is don't be a liar. Like, don't be a leisure. Also don't ignore it. That many red flags. Yeah. And don't compromise your values because you want this perfect life and because you want money. And let's be clear. And I want to say this because remember she has a very strong Christian background and we understand that and people may be, you know, consumed by the ideology of a marriage and family, and that's just something that they need to have because they don't feel accomplished without it. It's okay. And also too, if you're, you know, caught up in that biblical stuff, suppose, remember say I have something named Paul call. Did you know that? Let me teach you a biblical thing. They have something called the joke. It's a running joke, like they call it a Paul calling because Paul did not take a wife. His whole life was dedicated to ministry. Okay. So them call it a Paul call. Oh. So maybe. You're not for have no man or no woman. Your destiny is a Paul call. Right. Listen for the God, forgive the guidance. Because sometimes no phone enough for have no man or no woman. You have a Paul call. You for do greater things in this world than whatever. Yeah. So those are the morals of the story, guys. Yes. Do not. Don't. It can happen to you. Don't get it twisted. And don't judge because it can happen to you. Now, moving on to our listener letters. Yes, so I asked a very interesting thing. I asked people on social media to tell what some lies people have told them.
Listener letters.
So this week's listener letters, I asked each of you to send in some responses. That's a lot of responses. To send in some lies that, you know, people have told you in the past. So I'm just gonna read a few, right? Because we have a few here. Somebody said, "I love you" is the biggest one I've ever heard. Yes, sir. I would lie about that still. She isn't sleeping with her man, only me. So I guess he was a side man, and he was she isn't sleeping with her man because it maybe is like her a struggling relationship. Yeah, so he was I guess. Oh. This one took the cake for me. Their wedding was an all-white party while we were dating. Okay. he sent me pictures of his outfit in the full white,
Yeah, man.
but
GRWM.
it was actually his
GRWM.
wedding.
To the wedding.
Can you imagine? And he must send her a picture, you know? He must send her a picture.
I hate him. Him have to go down.
Him have to go down. Him have to go down. Yes, and the woman picture. And,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
and the wedding is an all-white
That's actually
party.
wild.
You're insane. Said them would have never give me bun while in her Andrew's uniform, walked across the road and suck out an ex-man
It's
face.
so specific.
No man, this hurt him from him in high school.
Oh man, say man, let it go. Let it go.
Right?
No,
Let
he
it
needs
go.
to let it go.
Okay, last 3.
Okay.
Right, just these 3 were good.
Mhm.
So this one said, the man tell him friend, me and him link, and we were basically in a whole relationship. And when I met him, I didn't know his name. Like she was like, so he's telling people that like he's with her, and like she met him, and she was like, nice to meet you. And they were like, everybody was like, huh? You don't know her?
That's it, babe.
That's your babe though, right? So I think that is a different level of delusion. That's actually insanity. I'd be scared. So
It's giving Joe from you.
So this one says that I didn't need to worry about him, but now they are married. So it's like that happens a lot. I was about to say that happens a lot. And this last one. The baby I saw on Facebook that looked like him was his godchild. And he only looked like him because the mother loves him. Her BF at the time. To find out that it's his baby.
Absolutely.
So he was saying this baby is his godchild. Yeah. Imagine you're saying, man, my godson christening and your son christening.
You're crazy. We don't mash up this.
So, I'm sorry for those lies. Thank you for the submissions and thank you for sharing the bravery. I'm gonna never call her the name. I'm never call her the name.
No, you cannot.
Because
Wow.
surviving liars. And that was another episode of the Goodgal podcast. We will see you next week. Bye.